1974's Street Law is one of the more unique Italian crime movies of the 1970s, and it really set the tone for Charles Bronson's vigilante Paul Kersey, who came along just 12 months later. So this one stars Franco Nero from Django and Enter the Ninja, and it's directed by the great Enzo Castellari, who's probably best remembered for 1990 The Bronx Warriors and Inglourious Basterds. So the premise of Street Law is a little unusual, even for a vigilante film. Basically, an engineer, played by Franco Nero, tries to be a hero during a heist, and he gets beaten up, and he gets taken hostage by a trio of armed robbers, led by Romano Pupo from After the Fall of New York, and he's also collaborating with Massimo Vanni from Warriors of the Wasteland, and the third wheel is stuntman Nazareno Zampanero, I think his name is. And that guy stood in for Mark Gregory in the Thunder, also known as Thunder Warrior movies. So the trio basically humiliate him, and instead of just getting on with his life, Franco Nero hatches an elaborate revenge plot to track them down and make them pay for humiliating him. So he does this with the help of JFK Jr. lookalike Timothy Brent, also known as Giancarlo Preti, who was in Warriors of the Wasteland and also Bronx Warriors 2. Well, he doesn't ask for his help so much as he blackmails the small-time hood to gain access not only to the local organised crime scene, but also to an arsenal of guns worthy of an Italian revenge film such as this. So the whole premise is a little strange, really. It's a bit of an overreaction, to say the least. I mean, most movie vigilantes are usually avenging family members, like their brother or sister or something like that. And also the same in most Bruce Lee movies. The guy in Rolling Thunder, for example, is avenging the loss of his forearm. And even Miss 45 herself is avenging a traumatic, non-consensual sexual assault or two. But Franco Nero in Street Law, well, he's basically avenging a loss of face and showing how petty he is. Hardly grounds for justifiable homicide, in my opinion. I reckon any jury's pretty much going to lock him up and throw away the key. But at any rate, the whole setup is a good excuse for some trademark Enzo Castellari slow-mo action sequences. So there are some great car chases in this one as well. For some reason, cops and crims racing around narrow Italian streets in tiny two-cylinder European shitboxes is always more exciting than their Hollywood counterparts manage for the most part. There's also a very cool scene involving Franco Nero and a Mustang in what looks like an old quarry from the New Barbarians. And the climactic shootout in the factory is pretty awesome as well, with some razor-sharp direction from the great Enzo Castellari. This one's not as violent as a lot of these other Euro crime movies of the era, but it is, of course, more violent than anything Hollywood was doing at the time, and that's a plus. And this one is worth a look if you enjoy these Italian crime films, or even if you haven't seen any before. So Street Law would make a pretty satisfying double bill with 1974's Death Wish, starring Charles Bronson, or even Enzo Castellari's own High Crime from 1974. So I hope you've enjoyed this look at Street Law, directed by Enzo Castellari, cool little Italian crime flick. And if you are enjoying these reviews, if you're enjoying the content on the channel here, by all means help a brother out. Please like, share and subscribe. And otherwise, I'll see you next time, and take it easy.